Today, the topics we were to cover was the lipid chemistry, and you were explaining that earlier we have talked how glyphosate interferes with proteins, how it interferes with the carbohydrates, and also how it may be attaching or interfering with the nucleic acids. Now, today you are trying to talk about the fourth kind of molecule, the lipids, and you think that it is as dangerous. The effect of compromised lipids is as dangerous as, if not more, than misincorporating into proteins and peptides. And very briefly, you were explaining how the phosphorylated lipids get phosphorylated because of presence of glyphosate and AMPA, and how it changes the characteristics of the lipid envelope that protects cells, and it protects mitochondria and so on, and how it can interfere with signaling. It can allow wrong things to go past the protecting layer and enter, and so on. Do you want to quickly mention this part again, just in few minutes?
Basically, what I've followed is glyphosate and AMPA becoming part of our lipids, creating phosphonolipids as opposed conventional phosphatidyl lipid compounds. And that's very troubling. I've analyzed the phosphorylated lipids of plants and animals using soy and eggs, and I found phosphonolipids, and that's disturbing because that alters lipid function. It alters cell signaling. It alters cell death, apoptosis. It's probably the reason why Monsanto found the nerves missing, the optic nerves missing in many of the animals, and other nerves disrupted and in atrophy. It's the nerves that begin to go first before the cells are destroyed. And Monsanto found extensive destruction of all glands and organs. And I believe it's because glyphosate was becoming part of the lipids and changing its biochemistry.
So briefly, the myelin sheath around these nerves were, according to you, damaged or destroyed by presence of glyphosate in the diet, and that destroyed the optic nerves that transmit signals and information, and ended up resulting in the death of those cells, and also how the eyes were losing their optic nerves. Is that more or less correct? Quickly.
That's more or less the gist of it.
So do you think that this destruction of the nervous system, nerves leading to organs, in this case of the eyes of animals subjected to glyphosate, may also have link with the court cases going on in USA, where people exposed to glyphosate because of their nature of work have been known to contract a kind of cancer known as non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, which is essentially cancer of the lymph nodes or the nervous system. Do you think there might be a link?
There's a direct link.
Direct link.
There's a direct link because when I dug the data out on lymphoma cancer out of the Monsanto studies, it was only the glyphosate treated animals that got lymphoma in many different tissues. And I dug that out of the documents and gave it to Baum and Hedlund, the attorneys that sued Monsanto, and won several court cases already. Glyphosate causes non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. That's just one of many effects that glyphosate and AMPA have on biology.
So has this also been presented to EPA, or we have to wait for your for your next paper, the 7th paper to be published?
I have not submitted any information to the Environmental Protection Agency yet on phosphonolipids because I'm still working, doing some more laboratory work. But I will be in a few weeks or a month or so. I'll be sending a formal letter to the Environmental Protection Agency through my U.S. Senator again, and letting them know that glyphosate and AMPA are forming phosphonolipids that are directly affecting biology. This is another way that glyphosate bioaccumulates in all life. This is something Monsanto denies, but it's true, it happens.
So this letter that will be going to EPA, apart from the letter itself, the supporting document will have your paper or an abridged version of the paper, or what?
It'll just include some of my data and an outline of findings.
This letter, will it be confidential, or can it be used by others to alert their government and their relative institution, organization inside the government that approve the molecule?
I'll make sure that it's in the public domain. I'll share it.
Fantastic. Then I can, for instance, send it to Health Canada to also consider the same thing.
Yes.